I think it's just we all understand the moment and the time of year it is, and we know how serious this time of year has to be and locked in we have to be. So I think, credit our guys as being locked in, ready, and focused on the game plan and understanding where people thought we could be and not winning this game. And we just took that as motivation and went out and handled business. I know Jimmy guaranteed a dub, so I was really focused on making sure that didn't happen.
Welcome in, Hawks fans. It's your boy Bryce Lewis back at it again for another Atlanta Hawks wrap-up. And yes, sir, Hawks are playoff bound, beating the Miami Heat in the play-in game tonight, 116-105, in a game that the Hawks pretty much came out, kind of controlling from the get-go. And, the Heat made the runs, but the Hawks were able to take those punches and be able to keep the lead and hold them off. And in the end, able to win by 11 points in a game that, He'd have been a thorn in the side of the Hawks, and they were able to, tonight, finally get past their arch nemesis and now advance and officially be into the playoff bracket where they'll play the Boston Celtics, the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. And, just like I said, this game tonight was a team effort. Everyone contributed, did what they needed to do to get this team here. I want to start with the two guys, the stars. Trey in his game took a couple of bad looks, was 1 of 8 from 3. But outside of that, if you take away those 8 threes, he was 7 of 10. Not 7 of 10. He was 7 of 9 from the field. Had 6 assists early. Kind of was trying to let the game come to him, not force too much. But he gave you 8 rebounds. He was in there gang rebounding, which I'll get to in a second. DeJounte, 8-10 tonight, really made some big shots late in the fourth quarter, like he did in the other win the Hawks had this year over the Heat. Made shots late. Capella, 21 rebounds tonight, dominating the Heat on the boards. Just if you're getting that type of production, you got to keep him on the floor. He was just getting so many second chance opportunities for the Hawks, and that was big tonight because the Hawks got a lot of second chance points. DeAndre Hunter had foul trouble, didn't really do a lot tonight. Struggle in the limited minutes he had, but it seems like every game we played against the Heat, somebody on our team has foul trouble. But I guess it was Hunter tonight. Collins didn't play a lot either. Had foul trouble as well. So he sat out a lot in the game, but finished the game and made a big putback and one late as well in the fourth. And then big shout out to the bench guys. 17 for Bay, 14 for Bogdanovich, 12 for Okongwu, and 10 for Jalen Johnson. Bay especially coming in playing 33 minutes tonight. Team obviously is different with spacing when Bay is playing. Quinn used to use Bay in a lot of those situations earlier when he started coaching this team, then kind of stopped. Now he did it tonight, and it was a great adjustment, and it really paid off for the Hawks. Kind of was also helping with the versatility on the defensive end, just helping be able to switch things, especially when they brought the next front line with Okongwu and Jalen into the game, just kind of be able to be able to switch everywhere, because that's very important to be able to have that type of switching versatility against the Miami Heat. And just overall in this game, man, just the Hawks did what they need to do tonight. I want to talk about a couple guys. Jalen Johnson, of course, looked a little nervous tonight. First non-regular season type of game he's played in, but also made plays, skying for rebounds, put back dunks, great passes. He had 3 assists tonight. He kind of was like a connector tonight. Trey would give him a lot of the Trey Jalen sets work very effectively for this team, and it felt like he would give it to Jalen. Jalen would make a move and then make the next pass, or that would either result in an alley or a 3-point shot, and it seemed very effective, especially in that second quarter. That was really big. Kongu just gave him good offense off the bench and had 4 block shots tonight, 4 big block shots, so he was active on the defensive end for the Hawks. And overall, in the game, the Hawks shooting 47%. Didn't really shoot that great from 3, but took a lot. Free throw shooting tonight, which is usually a strength of the Hawks, was not good at all tonight. Only 59% from the line. That's kind of shocking for this team, because they're the 3rd best free throw shooting team in the league. So hopefully, that won't be something that sticks around. Had 26 assists, had about 16, I think, in the first half. because they were really moving the ball really well in that first half, and that really helped keep Miami's defense off, kilter. They couldn't get literally a lock on them, and that really caused disruptions for their defense. They helped to get the Hawks get good shots. Like I said, Hawks had 8 blocks tonight, and they just played a good game all around, and really happy for the guys, man. DeJounte after the game talking crap, saying, talking about the quote tweet of everybody predicting Miami to beat us. Everybody said Miami was gonna beat us tonight, and the Hawks heard that, and they said, okay, Jimmy Butler guaranteed the dub, okay. And the Hawks came out and responded tonight. Really just playing probably one of the better games they played this season in a big game. And that's what you want to see in these moments, in these types of games. Once the regular season is over, these are important. This isn't obviously win or go home, because you would have one more chance, but you want to get into the playoffs and just have that done. Now, I'm assuming playoffs don't start till Saturday at the latest. So I'm assuming the Hawks will have the next 3 days off to kind of get ready for Boston, which actually is pretty good. Gives them 2. They'll probably go home tonight. I would say maybe 2 days to practice, maybe work on some last minute stuff to get ready for that matchup. And then Friday, you fly into Boston, and then you have your walkthrough on Saturday. I would figure this is a Saturday game. I could be completely wrong, but I would figure this would be a Saturday game. But like I said, I could be completely wrong about that. I haven't seen the official scheduling yet for when we play the Boston Celtics and everything. So obviously that's something that we'll keep an eye on. And then we'll let you know as soon as we get information. Realistically, man, like I said, just a good game tonight for all the guys, man. Good game tonight for all the guys. They've done a lot of work this year. Obviously, Snyder coming into the situation, it's not easy. They're trying to integrate things and trying to change habits, and that's difficult when you don't also have a lot of practice time, and that could just be tough to do. And I think he's done a good job kind of implementing it. I mean, even though everybody hates this man right now, Kevin O'Connor, in his article that he wrote about the Trae Young thing, he said like they're not even using a large percentage of what his true system is because they just don't have the time to integrate it. And so for what he's done so far, it's been good for the team. And I feel like obviously next year everybody expects it to really show itself instead of this year. But overall, good job for him. It's been interesting under Snyder. They've obviously became a great offensive, like even better offensive team under Snyder. I mean, rebounding has been a complete change. Like I said, they dominated them on the boards tonight. I think they had like 64 rebounds, 39 to the Heat's 39. That's almost a 30 rebound difference. Hawks destroyed them on the boards. Under Nate McMillan, if you remember under Nate McMillan, guys, it felt like the Hawks were a great rebounding team. It felt like if Clint Capella, because I always said when I watched the Hawks under Nate McMillan when it came to rebounding, it felt like it was just Clint Capella and against the entire other team's bigs and forwards and wings, and that's why the Hawks would get out rebounded. Now it feels like they always have 2 or another guy flying in there. They always got multiple guys around the boards helping out and get rebounds. And I think that's contributed to why they've been such a great second chance team under Snyder and why they've been a dominant rebounding team under him. And that showed its head tonight, especially against Miami that doesn't have a lot of size. They scored a lot of points in the paint tonight, which is huge. Last game in Miami, last time they played Miami, they scored 70. I think they were in the 60s tonight and inside the paint when it comes to scoring. So, you could just see the changes in what they did. And then even tonight, Miami scored 105 points. I mean, realistically, playoff basketball point totals kind of drop a little bit anyway because it becomes a slower half-court game. And obviously, the Heat aren't the best offensive team, alive. But it felt like against the Hawks, anybody could drop 130 points. It didn't feel like anybody could just score. And tonight, they kind of stepped up. They had times where obviously the Heat missed shots, but I think the Hawks played some good defense at times and did some good things well. So, like I said, overall with this game, it was impressive from start to finish. Fighting off Miami, you knew they were going to be a tough, scrappy team. They were going to push. I think Snyder did a good job tonight with rotations, and I think they did what they need to do. And then like I said, Trae and DeJounte did what they need to do late. Also, big boards from Capella late, big and one from John Collins late. Bay getting loose ball dunks, Bogey getting a dunk. Just good performances all around from everybody, because that's pretty much how they have to do. This rotation you saw tonight will probably be the rotation for the playoffs. I do not foresee AJ playing much at all in the playoffs, just because I think Snyder wants to go with the 9 guys, and I think that he feels like also defensively this gives him the best opportunity as well, because then you're bringing in Bay, Jalen, and Okongwu, who are probably 3 better defenders coming off the bench, and that can kind of interchange with the starters, and that may be a better matchup overall for everybody involved when it comes to this defending teams in the future. Looking ahead at Boston, obviously Boston had their way with Atlanta this year. I mean, literally the last game of the season they were shooting all over the Hawks, even though it was like reserve versus reserves, but they had a great 3-point shooting game. The key for me, and I've said this on my Twitter, follow me at BryceC_2K. The key for me is this. The Hawks have to, I feel like, I don't know if Snyder's going to do this, but I feel like he needs to do this. He has to play Bay a lot of minutes like he did tonight. Okongwu got to play a lot of minutes, unless, again, Capella's having a monster game. I think he has to play Jalen maybe a little bit more. Obviously, depending on how Jalen's playing that game. If he's playing really, really well that game, I think he needs to give more minutes. If you notice he's kind of struggling or kind of not knowing what he's supposed to do, then obviously, you'll take him out. And then obviously DeAndre Hunter. Because the one thing about Boston is they have so many shot makers. You got to have guys who can switch. That's why Golden State always plays them tough, because they could throw Draymond, Kuminga, Wiggins, Clay, Peyton at Tatum and Brown and everybody else. There's really no matchup the Boston has that they could just exploit all game long. I mean, you could try to go after Steph, but I mean, realistically, they have so many guys they could switch. It works for them defensively, and that's why Boston never seems like the offensive juggernaut we've seen when they played us, because I feel like when we have our general starting lineup on the floor, they can switch on a Trey, they can switch on to the DeJounte. Those are mismatches. They're quicker than Capella. They're quicker than John Collins. Those are mismatches. So I feel like to eliminate that and to contain that, you're going to have to play DeAndre more. You're going to have to give Jalen more minutes. You're going to have to give Okongwu more minutes. And you're going to have to give Bay more minutes. And I think that may be the way. I think JC's minutes may be the minutes that may be affected. And that's just part of it. I mean, every series is different. If we played Philadelphia, JC would play maybe close to 30 just because you're playing a big team. So it's all based off matchups. Obviously, I think with Robert Williams, I think he's going to play in this series. I think that will be a better matchup for Capella, of course, just because he's more of a stationary center. Not really a guy who's going to stretch out the 3-point line and take Capella out the paint. So obviously that'll be a big deal for the Hawks in that regard, and maybe could work in their favor. But I mean, it's going to be a tough series. After what you've seen in the regular season, you probably think the Hawks are going to get swept, but you never know. Maybe they can make the right adjustments and play some good basketball. Maybe make this a more competitive series than people expect it to be. And as a Hawks fan and just in covering the team, you hope that just to show this team maybe is progressing forward, and kind of gives you a lot to look forward to the next year whenever that time actually ends up coming. But I think that's kind of how we're viewing things. But like I said, good win tonight against Miami, their arch nemesis, beating them on their home floor. Playing game, everybody contributed. Game balls go to everybody. Everybody's in good mood tonight. Hey, I know they probably want to party up in South Beach. Like I said, if they ain't go back to the morning, party it up tonight. And then tomorrow, fly back, get refocused. Or if you're flying back tonight, if they already have, get ready for practice, get ready for the Boston Celtics, start looking at film. Let's get ready to go, guys. So, good win, like I said, for those guys tonight. Just got to continue to move forward. After everything that's happened in the last couple of days, all the leakage of net stories, all this kind of crappy national coverage the Hawks have gotten, came out, shut out all the haters. Got to win tonight, play great basketball, and that's what you want to see. That's Atlanta Hawks basketball. So we're going to see what happens coming up against the Boston Celtics in their first round series. I'll be here with you guys, giving you guys as much coverage as possible, articles, videos, whatever. Follow me on Twitter, Bryce_2K, for all my tweets covering the games. Got to give y'all lockdown coverage of the Hawks during this run and to see what they can do. But that's all I got for you guys. It's your boy, Bryce Lewis. I'll see you next time. Fighting, baby. There we go. All right.
Who first time in us?
Yeah, five. Yeah, five. Yeah, five. We're right back to the beat, five.
Good TK. Wow. You first off? Yes, sir. And when off? By that time.
Hey, man, we're right back to the beat.
Bonus. Born for this. Playoffs, baby. Look, you got it. Let's all the hoes. Man, what you?
Yeah, come on. Come on. I wasn't ready for that Hawks, baby. Nah,